something to get you right that got me right. So it's 15 things you can do when you're struggling in life. And I'm telling you, I had my fill of struggling. So I'm going to share my story and things that you can do when you're like struggling and all over the place that you can really do to simmer yourself down, as David Gibson would say. Simmer yourself down so that you can get it all together. So, just picture this. You're sitting cozy in a well lit space, right? And you're just snuggling instead of struggling. So, I'm going to help you get to that place, not only in your head, but also in life. How to overcome life's toughest moments. Sometimes it feels like you just can't catch a break. One thing happens after the other, right? I know how it feels. I know how just so heartbreaking it is for you. Because I've been there. I've felt it. Sometimes I even feel it now sometimes, And I see how, even my children sometimes struggle trying to figure out. Many years ago, I had rented an apartment, right after I sold my house because all my children had moved out. And I rented an apartment, which was it was such a great location. It had every amenity that I wanted. It had a pool, it had a gym, it had a library, it had a rec center. It was just beautiful. Middle of the island, really nice location. And 6 months in, I even had a golf course. So 6 months in, living the life, very comfortable, nice, having a great, enjoying my apartment, and I want to say within 6 months, maybe 8 months, we're living there, and hi, how are you? Thanks for dropping in. And we move in, and I started getting notices about foreclosure, and I had no idea. I was like, paying my rent. I don't know. So letters just kept coming. So I kind of called the owners. Now, when I first met them, they were the average, retiring couple moving to Florida for their, golden year time, Never thought that I'd find myself in the position of being evicted because they were in foreclosure. Hi, Rana. Thank you. Love you from New York. Hi, Shora. Nice to see you here. Thank you so much. And I ended up getting evicted. And more than that, all of my things were locked into the house. So I lost everything except for the clothes on my back and a little bit of clothes I had in my car, because I used to be a real estate agent, so I always had to have something in the car to change into, and the shoes on my feet. That's it. I had nothing. Every earring I owned was in the car. Boy, was that a year of struggle for me. I think my heart was more broken that I lost my photos more than anything else, because I think those things could be replaced, But I think my photos really upset me, of with my children, with my, family and friends. I think that really upset me. But that is a major struggle that kept me in a position, right, that I didn't think I was going to get over. Hi, Russ. Love from India. Love from New York. And I didn't think I was going to get over that. So we encounter those struggles, we encounter those situations because life happens. Hi, Alessandra. And they happen because life is life. Oh, love from Italy. I was just there a few years ago, but hey, I love it there. I love it, Italy. Love Italy. Love it, love it, love it. And So the struggles that we have really get us down, right? We don't think that we can come up from them. We don't think that we can, bounce back from them, And this is a big struggle in my life, a big challenge in my life, because I've never had that before, and I was like bummed out. I was like, what do I do? How do I start? What do I, where do I go? And I was alone, but my children were there, but I wanted to kind of recover by myself, and I couldn't seem to feel like I was getting out of the funk. I was always feeling like my life was always going to be a tragic mess. I was blindsided by that. Yeah, um, by someone else lying, by someone else impeding in my life. And when I got that notice, I was like, everything that I worked for was gone. You ever feel like that? That everything you worked for was gone. Everything you're working towards is gone. So I felt like I was losing the sense of my security around that. Hi, Bass Fishing 336. Thank you for stopping by. And then I thought that everything after that would probably be a bigger struggle, would be harder for me, and there was, different setbacks that I would have these setbacks, financial struggles, emotional breakdown. I had them all. And when one happens, everything happens at once, right? It's like, oh God, you're crying, you're upset, you're in this funky, mood. I think this funky mood lasted me a whole year. I was at my lowest. But here's what I learned from those struggles, and I'm going to share them with you today. And I know that you get in these struggles and we don't seem like we're going to transform or we're going to get out of it. But you have to learn from these struggles. Hey, Jay's Papas. And you have to learn from these struggles. And you have to apply that learning as you go along. Yes, it's okay to be upset. Yes, it's okay to be angry. Yes, it's okay to... yeah. But it's time to breathe. It's time to breathe and find a solution. Because no doubt if I would not have been able to get out of that funk and not just sit there and cry on this doorstep, and my son was with me, and he's like, Mom, I don't know, I'm so sorry. But no doubt if I would have sat there, I'd probably been sitting there for a long while because I wasn't thinking things through, but I was able. Russ Daly, I am from New York. But if I was able to or didn't get out of the funk, then I wouldn't be where I am today, And so what I'm going to share with you is 15 things that I learned, out of the struggle, out of that particular struggle. And you might have a struggle that you're going through. You might be saying you're the only one. You might be saying that I can't seem to get out of this one day struggle that lasted a lifetime of depression. And it doesn't matter where you are in this, you can still come out of it. So let's break down the list, right? And then I'm going to share the comparison with what I went through, and maybe you could see it a little bit better, all right? So here's the number one thing. Acknowledge your struggles. So what was my struggle in the situation I was in? The struggle was now I had to figure out, right? The struggle was critical thinking. It was like I was struggling with emotional stuff and critical thinking. So I had to say, okay, my problem is I need a home. My problem is I need to figure this out. I lost all my money. Now I have a financial situation, right? So I had to figure that out. So number one was for me to acknowledge that I had a struggle. And you can't heal what you don't face. I think that's the biggest thing is you can't, if you just pretend that it doesn't exist or you don't want to acknowledge it because it's so painful, so darn painful, and some things are very, very painful. They are, and you may not want to acknowledge them because they are painful, because someone has hurt you. You may not want to acknowledge that, but you have to, because if you don't acknowledge it, you don't heal. And you have to heal. We need you to heal. You need you to heal. Because there's something beautiful waiting for you out in this world. Or maybe there's not. Maybe just living an ordinary life, and that's cool. Living it up, that's cool. Either way, you have to acknowledge what's going on. Number 2, practice self-compassion. Don't beat yourself up. Because I thought that, well, if I did this wouldn't have happened. If I did that wouldn't have happened. But don't beat yourself up. If, like thinking about if I coulda, woulda, shoulda, don't beat yourself up. When you do that and you don't practice self-compassion, you end up getting stuck. And that's a whole nother issue all by itself. So, when you're struggling, you want to make sure you do these 15 things so that you're not stuck and keep going through the same cycle, okay? Number 3, change your perspective. I can't say this enough. Changing the narrative changes you. Changing the narrative changes where you are. Changing the narrative changes what you become and receive. So change your perspective. Every challenge is an opportunity for a comeback. Every one of them. So if you change the narrative around what you're feeling, I had to say to myself in that situation where there was a foreclosure and it wasn't my fault. I had to say, this wasn't my fault. I can come back from this. This was an opportunity to ask more questions next time. Yeah, that's what it was. So change your perspective. 4, take things one step at a time. That was so important for me to get out of this struggle that I was in, to take one step. Don't eat the whole elephant. Take one bite at a time. Okay? Just remember that. When a situation comes up, think of an elephant. Don't eat the whole thing. Eat it one bite at a time. Take things one step at a time. I didn't rebuild overnight. It was one step at a time, one issue at a time. And you don't have to do that either. You could just take it one step at a time, because if you take it one step at a time, it's like rebuilding a house. And when you take down the parts that are not good and you reconstruct it, it's stronger than ever. Okay? So take things one step at a time. 5, seek support. Learn from people, or lean on them from people who uplift you, like myself, maybe a therapist. Be around people that support you, not drain you. Because when you're going through these struggles, you don't want to be drained. You want to be uplifted. So hang around folks like that. Support system like that. Okay? Seek a therapist, depending on what the situation is. Even when you're homeless, you could seek a therapist. And I say that even like now, it's even more evident that you can actually call one up with a phone, or that's even easier. Even on the if you have access to a computer, access to a library, you can have a therapist. You know what I'm saying? So there's ways to heal yourself, even in every situation. Even when I was homeless, I had a therapist. Because I was like, I gotta find a home. And I call it couch surfing. I was couch surfing. I had a therapist to kind of help me figure out and strategize which direction I was going next. So lean on people who uplift you, not drain you. 6, journal your thoughts. All through this process, I was writing, I was talking on my phone, talking into my phone, not talking on my phone, but talking into my phone, all my thoughts. I was journaling. Writing was one of my biggest healers because I didn't leave things on the inside of me, I let the things out of me. Because how good are you if things that are hurting you stay inside and then rot the rest of your body out? Because hurt is pain. Pain is fear. Fear is debilitating. It's outside of love. So fear is like the darkness. The darkness takes over one piece at a time. So get it out of you. Get it moving out of you. Get it out, right? 7, prioritize self-care. Rest is productive too. You don't always have to do everything. You don't always have to keep moving, going here, going there, doing this, doing that. You can actually rest. Rest when it's time to rest, rest. Take it easy. Prioritize taking care of you. No matter what the situation, take care of you. 8, set realistic goals. And I'm going to go back to eating the elephant one piece at a time. A goal is an elephant. So small wins add up. Celebrate them. I was fortunate enough during this whole situation to have my car. So in my couch surfing, I would couch surf, whether it be at my daughter's or my son's house or my mom's. I would go out during the day and, still do business to kind of get myself together, still do business. And I would go to a Starbucks cafe or a library and I still do business, right? But I was able to, every small win I did in between there, looking for a house, looking for an apartment. In between there, all those small wins, completing applications. I'd go and celebrate at Starbucks and sit there and celebrate, I'm celebrating this or that, but celebrate those small wins so that they add up. And when they add up, they're actually eating the entire elephant. And pretty soon you'll have the whole goal. My goal was to find a place to live. And I'm living in it now, actually. I knew what I wanted. I actually specified I wanted to be near the water. I wanted to be in something fairly new. I wanted to be around people that respected me as I respected them. I wanted to be affordable. I said all those things. I set it all up in my vision. And in my vision, a lot of it all came through. It all came true. So you can be realistic and be creative at the same time as when you set your goals. All right? And number 9, challenge negative thoughts. In my mind, I had so many negative things going on. It'll never work out. I'll never get an apartment. I'll never do this. And there's always, let me just tell you this, it's almost never one challenge at a time. A couple come at a time. So you have to prioritize which one is the best one. You know that saying that they have, learn to pick your battles? Well, if you have 3 struggles, prioritize which one is most important and then don't fight with the others. As simple as that. Pick your battles and make sure you're being realistic and challenge those negative thoughts. Like mine was, I'm never going to find a house. Every time I saw an apartment, I'm never going to get this. But you know what, I had to say, no, this apartment, I'm glad that I applied for this apartment. This may not be the one, but it's getting me closer. Each time I fill out an application, it's getting me closer to the one that is mine. And that's what I used to say. So challenge them. Your mind could be your best friend or your worst enemy. Just so you know. And remember what I said. It could be your best friend or your worst enemy. When every time something negative is coming to you or coming out of your mind, it's your worst enemy. It's not realism. It's your worst enemy. Okay, we are at 10. Do something you love. Joy is a game changer. I loved at the time reading and writing, and so that's what I was doing. A lot of reading and writing, and I wrote I want to say over 25 ebooks, which I still have yet to publish. I'm publishing every day. And if you really want to take a look at all of that, go on Amazon. Check me out on Amazon. I have about maybe 30 or 40, between 30 and 40 publications. They all could be very helpful to you. Check me out on any language on Amazon. I'm everywhere. I just got a sale, I think in Germany the other day, one of my ebooks. So check me out. I am all over on Amazon. I have about, like I said, between 30 and 40 publications, and still putting them out. But I digress. That's the other side. Okay, so do something you love. And I did something I love, was literally brought me joy, got me out of the funk, got me, thinking more positively. And I'm happy for that. 11, be kind to yourself. Everything that you think about, all right? Everything you may come out and say to yourself, is it something that you'd say to your best friend when they're feeling bad? And if it's not, get rid of it, change the narrative, and talk to yourself with kindness. Be kind to yourself. Okay? Don't beat yourself up because of mistakes. Mistakes happen. And just reframe how you deal with them and be responsible. Really. All right? 12, let go of what you can't control. A lot of what we get involved with, we want control, but we don't have control. And we have to try to not force things, because it will only exhaust you. Don't force things. Go with the flow. If you go with the flow, if you allow the universe to direct you, it will. But if you're forcing yourself to open a door on the other side, and you're forcing the door to open, you will never get to where you need to go. I have found that even putting my hand on the handle of the door in my imagination to turn the lock often is not my direction. Where I go is the door opens itself. Where I'm supposed to go, it opens itself. It doesn't need me to force it open. It doesn't need me to touch the door at all. So make sure you're not forcing it. If you feel like you're forcing a relationship, you feel like you're forcing, finding, like in my situation, finding housing, forcing people to do things for you, forcing, any area of your challenge, it's probably not the direction you're supposed to be going in. So let go of what you can't control. You can't control how people, judge you. You can't change that. You can't change how they are. You can't change that. So just let go of it. Let go. Trying to force things will only exhaust you. Okay? Remember what I said. I said that to you. 13. Let me see. That's at 13? Oh, no. Yeah, 13. Focus on what you can control. Your mindset, your actions, your healing. Your mindset, your actions, your healing. That's it. Focus on what you can control. 14. Seek professional help if needed. There's no shame in getting help. You can come to me, a coach like me, because I am your coach. You can come to me. You can go to a therapist, however you need to coach you through this, to be your accountability partner, to keep you on track, to be your support system when you need them, to be a support system with a solution, not with just, oh, I need you as a sounding board. No, you can have your phone for that. You can speak into your phone as a sounding board. Coaches and therapists are not sounding boards. They're there to help you get a solution to move forward, to get out of that. Okay, just so you know, that's what we don't do. And 15, trust the process. Every setback is a setup for a major comeback. Major being that your life will be forever changed. Just stick with this. This is what's supposed to happen to build. Things supposed to come down for you to be built up every time. Yeah, so make sure that you're remembering those 15 steps. And if you don't remember them, I can give them to you, right? I can give them to you again. If this video, what I said today resonated with you, I want to personally invite you to join my 90-day transformative program. It's designed to help you break free from survival mode and step into your own power. If you would like to get started with me in this 90-day transformative program, visit me at www.ednawhite.com to learn more and get started. And if you found this video very helpful, like and comment below and tell me what's one thing that you took away from today that you can share with the world that you've done. Let's talk about it. And don't forget, again, to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell, all right? So you don't miss out on more content like this. I hope I've helped you, and I hope it said something to encourage your day. Have a wonderful day. See you soon.